So recently, all over the world, and especially in the U.S., we've been experiencing the effects of climate change. With increased snowfall and increased amounts of storms in the east, we realize that it's happening now. Now, there are many things that contribute to climate change, starting from the use of transportation, overpopulation, and the production of metals and plastic. Now, one big contributor is non-renewable energy. Non-renewable energy is anything that uses a resource that we have a finite amount of. Something like oil or coal or nuclear, all of those are non-renewable. Now recently, in the past 30 years, we've come up with something called renewable energy. And that would be something that uses a resource we have an almost infinite amount of, like the sun, the wind, heat pockets in the earth, or the currents in the ocean.
So we are doing an inquiry project, which asks us to find a way to make the Bay Area an even better place. So for my group and I have decided to try to find a way to make renewable energy, try to promote renewable energy to the power homes in the San Francisco Bay Area. We started out by going online and looking for information on renewable energy and current efforts to help promote it around the city. After that, we started our field research, which basically means we left the town school walls and went outside to the real world. First, on Wednesday, May 14th, we got to have a tour of the beautiful San Francisco Public Utilities Commission's headquarters and just see the totally beautiful, totally renewable and smart building. Then on Thursday, May 15th, we were able to go to the Climate One radio show headquarters based in the Commonwealth Club and speak with an expert there who helped answer some of our questions. Finally, on Monday, May 19th, we were lucky enough to be able to have half an hour phone call with the Vice President of Mechanical, Electrical, and Plumbing and Sustainability at Webcore Builders. After extensive our research, we have found the most efficient way to power homes in the Bay Area are photovoltaic panels, more commonly known as solar panels.
As you may or may not know, electricity is created from a flow of electrons through a conductor such as copper or silicon. In solar panels, it's silicon. The photons from the light knock the electrons from the silicon atoms free, where they travel onto another atom. This is creating a flow of electrons. Companies are trying to promote solar, such as Best Buy are planning to sell solar panels, where you go and you sign up and they'll install them for free, since most of the cost of solar panels is soft costs, such as installation. And they'll sell you the energy for 5 to 7% less than the standard utility rate.
So we have found that the biggest reason people have not switched to renewable energy is ignorance. They do not realize the benefits of renewable energy or the availability of it. When we talked to an expert, he told us that it is very common that when one person switches to renewable energy, it is very common that very soon all their neighbors are converted to renewable energy as well. This is helped by the fact that the price of solar panels has dropped 95% since the 1980s. That is partially because recently China has flooded the market with their cheaply made solar panels, which has forced their American and European competitors to lower their prices substantially. The only thing you have to be cautious about when buying solar panels is that you have to be very careful about what the manufacturers use in the making of us and what chemicals they use when they're trying to make all the materials. Now we also looked at a couple other renewable energy sources, and one of them was wind energy. Wind energy, we found, is a very good idea, but it would be extremely inefficient on a smaller scale, such as putting an individual wind turbine on your house, partially because wind turbines have a lot of moving parts that require maintenance. We also looked at the highly controversial wave energy. Wave energy so let's say you take a buoy, you put it out in the bay, and you have pistons that attach from the right underneath the buoy to the seafloor. And when the waves fall up and down, that pushes the pistons up and down as well, and that's what creates the energy. The problem with this is it is unfortunately very disruptive to the wildlife, so that's why it is very controversial. It's also worth noting on the subject that even if we could get past the wildlife and the environmental concerns, it would be very hard to implement it wave energy because of the highly corrosive salt water that would make metal next to useless for the buildings. We talked to an expert. He said that if we could get past environmental concerns and wildlife concerns, that one of the ways you could implement this is by building the piston out of carbon fiber, which would then negate the corrosive salt water.
There's a rating system for all this sustainability of buildings, and it's called LEED, or Leadership in Environmental Energy Design. And there is silver, gold, and platinum. Platinum's the best, silver is the worst, but any LEED rating is good. The building we visited, the SFPUC building, had a platinum rating. It had solar panels on the roof, it had wind turbines on the side, and it had a living machine that processed its wastewater. But LEED doesn't only rate the sustainability and energy efficiency of a building, it rates how its employees are treated too, what they have, facilities they have to use. In the SFPUC building, it was a pretty cool building. There is another rating system. It's called, there are two, Net Zero and Energy Plus. Net Zero means it creates roughly the amount of energy it uses in a year, and Energy Plus means it creates more, such as a power plant.
Now, recently in San Francisco, they've been starting programs to help San Francisco become a greener place, with city bikes, improving Muni, and putting solar panels and wind turbines on government buildings. Now, all these are great, and everything's working, but what we need now is we need to advertise the fact that it is easier to switch to solar and wind or whatever, and it's not more expensive, it's the same amount. All we need to do is tell people that, and maybe they'll switch. And the way we propose to tell people that is with advertisements at Warriors or Giants or 49ers games, and then billboards around the city, and TV ads around the city, everything we can do to make it more obvious that everything is working for solar, there's nothing against it, and to make the programs like Marin Clean Energy or One Block Off the Grid more obvious and easier to switch to.
So what can you do to help? You guys, adults here, you can switch to renewable energy today or as soon as possible. It is now cheaper than ever to switch to renewable energy. You can lease solar panels now, and you can just you can buy them, but everything's a lot cheaper. And if you live in Marin, there's this really cool thing that I'll tell you about.
It's called Marin Clean Energy. It gives you the option. They partnered with PG&E and give you the option for switching to 50% or 100% renewable energy. They're not solar panels on your roof that's produced somewhere else. It's mostly wind energy because it's very good in a large scale. This is good. It gives people an option, but it's slightly more expensive for 100% solar, but it's definitely worth it, the environmental impact.
So this is our plan to make San Francisco 100% green and a greener place to live.
Thank you for your time.